Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a dark, disturbing, but very real topic, serial killers. And no, this isn't me just playing dress up in my bathroom. We're talking about the darkest corners of America, exploring one notorious serial killer from every state, uncovering stories of these criminals, their victims, and chilling details. Buckle up, because some of these stories are truly unsettling. Cases that captivated the nation, leaving people wondering, how could someone do such a thing? And as always, viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to our deep dive into the dark side of America, exploring the most notorious serial killers from each of the 50 states. Viewer discretion is advised. Our first stop is Alabama, where we meet Nanny Doss, the giggling granny. Don't let the nickname fool you, she was cold-blooded, taking 11 lives, including family, with arsenic. Next, we're braving the Alaskan wilderness, where Robert Hansen, the butcher-baker, hunted women and left their bodies exposed. The desert heat of Arizona holds the secrets of Mark Goudeau, the baseline killer, who terrorized Phoenix, claiming 9 innocent lives. Christmas took a sinister turn in Arkansas with Ronald Gene Simmons. This family annihilator tragically took the lives of 16 people, including 14 of his own family members. California, the land of sunshine and, well, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. This satanic-obsessed killer terrorized Los Angeles, breaking into homes and leaving a trail of fear and death. Colorado's Rocky Mountains couldn't hide the darkness of Scott Lee Kimball. This manipulator became a police informant while secretly taking lives. Our journey takes us to Connecticut, where Michael Ross, the roadside strangler, preyed on young women, leaving communities heartbroken and devastated. Delaware's Route 40 became a hunting ground for Stephen Brian Pennell, targeting sex workers and leaving bodies along the highway. Down in Florida, we meet Aileen Wuornos. This highway prostitute claimed self-defense in the killings of 7 men. The Atlanta child murders still haunt Georgia. Wayne Williams was convicted of killing 2 adults but linked to the deaths of 20 children, leaving a city paralyzed with fear. Even paradise isn't safe. Eugene Barrett, the Honolulu Strangler, preyed on young women, leaving tragedy in his wake. In Idaho, we encounter Paul Ezra Rhodes, whose violent spree left communities on edge, shocking the peaceful state. John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, is a name that sends chills down spines. This Illinois resident hid his dark secret behind a playful facade, burying young boys beneath his house of horrors. Indiana's I-70 became a dumping ground for Herb Baumeister, the I-70 Strangler. He lured young men to their deaths. John Wayne Gacy's terror extended beyond Illinois. His Iowa crimes involved kidnapping, torture, and murder of young men. Kansas was terrorized by Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, for over a decade. His taunting letters to police and the media only intensified the fear he instilled in the community. Kentucky's Donald Harvey was no angel. This hospital orderly used his position to take lives of vulnerable patients, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. Louisiana's Bayou held the dark secrets of Ronald Dominique. He preyed on vulnerable young men, leaving bodies in his wake. Maine's remote wilderness couldn't hide the crimes of James Hicks, the Maine Hermit. He targeted women, adding a chilling chapter to Maine's history. Joe Methane's crimes in Maryland were nightmarish. This cannibalistic killer shocked the state with his brutality and disregard for human life. The Boston Strangler case gripped Massachusetts in fear. Albert DeSalvo confessed, but doubts linger, leaving the mystery unsolved. Michigan's Coral Eugene Watts, known as the Sunday Morning Slasher, terrorized women, earning his chilling nickname with brutal attacks. Paul Michael Stephanie, the weepy-voiced killer, used chilling phone calls to taunt authorities. His crimes left Minnesota in fear. Glenn Rogers, the cross-country killer, left victims across the United States, including Mississippi. His transient lifestyle made him hard to catch. Robert Berdella, the Kansas City butcher, earned his gruesome nickname with his horrific crimes. His Missouri home became a house of horrors where he tortured, killed young men. Montana's Wayne Nance, the Missoula Mauler, preyed on victims, leaving a community reeling. His crimes stain Montana's history. Charles Starkweather's killing spree shocked Nebraska. This teenage killer and his girlfriend went on a murderous rampage. Gerald Stano, the confession killer, claimed to have taken over 40 lives across several states, including Nevada. His confessions were often contradictory, making his true victim count difficult to determine. H. Holmes, the Devil in the White City, is a chilling figure from Chicago's 1893 World's Fair. His murder castle trapped unsuspecting victims, making him one of America's first serial killers. Richard Biegenwald terrorized New Jersey, becoming known as the Thrill Killer for his pleasure in taking lives. His horrific crimes left a lasting mark on the state's criminal justice system. David Parker Ray's crimes in New Mexico were nightmares. Known as the Toy Box Killer, he tortured his victims in a soundproof trailer he called his toy box. Joel Rifkin, the New York Ripper, preyed on sex workers in New York City. His crimes exposed the dark underbelly of the city and the vulnerabilities of marginalized communities. Henry Louis Wallace, the Charlotte Strangler, targeted young women, leaving a community on edge. His capture brought relief and horror. Eugene Butler, the Midnight Rider, terrorized North Dakota, targeting women and leaving a trail of fear. Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes shocked the entire nation. This Ohio native lured young men to his apartment where he drugged, killed, and dismembered them, engaging in horrific acts of cannibalism. Nanny Doss's reign of terror extended to Oklahoma, where she continued poisoning those around her. Her ability to blend in, and her unassuming demeanor, made her crimes even more chilling. Oregon's lush forests became a hunting ground for Dayton Leroy Rogers. He targeted young women, leaving bodies in shallow graves. Gary Heidnick's Philadelphia home became known as the House of Horrors. He kidnapped and tortured women in his basement. Craig Price's crimes shocked Rhode Island. This teenage killer stabbed a woman and 3 children, leaving a community grappling with the violence. South Carolina, Donald Henry Gaskins, the meanest man in America. Donald Henry Gaskins, known as the meanest man in America, terrorized South Carolina. He tortured and killed hitchhikers, earning his nickname. South Dakota, Robert Leroy Anderson, the duct tape killer. Robert Leroy Anderson, the duct tape killer, left a trail of victims across states, including South Dakota. His use of duct tape to subdue his victims became his chilling signature. Tennessee, Paul Dennis Reed, the fast food killer. Paul Dennis Reed's crimes shocked Tennessee. This fast food worker turned killer took the lives of 7 innocent people during restaurant robberies. Texas's Dean Corll, the Candyman, lured young boys to their deaths with promises of candy and money. His crimes exposed a dark side to Houston and the horrors of child predation. Ted Bundy, the campus killer, is one of the most infamous serial killers in American history. His crimes spanned multiple states, including Utah, where he preyed on many young women. Israel Keyes's crimes in Vermont and across the United States were calculated and terrifying. Known for his meticulous planning, he instilled fear nationwide. Virginia, Timothy Spencer, also known as the Southside Strangler. He terrorized Virginia, leaving a trail of victims. His crimes shook Richmond and led to advancements in DNA technology. Washington, Gary Ridgway, infamously known as the Green River Killer. Ridgway holds the record for the most confirmed victims in U.S. history. His crimes terrorized Washington state for years, leaving a community forever scarred. West Virginia, Harry Powers, the Butcher of Clarksburg. Harry Powers earned his gruesome nickname through horrific crimes in West Virginia. He lured women to their deaths through Lonely Hearts ads. Wisconsin, Ed Gein, the Plainfield Ghoul. Ed Gein's crimes in Wisconsin were nightmares. The inspiration for countless horror films, Gein's macabre fascination with human remains shocked the nation. Wyoming, Dale Wayne Eaton, the Great Basin Killer. Dale Wayne Eaton, the Great Basin Killer, terrorized Wyoming and nearby states. His crimes left a trail of fear and heartbreak. Stay safe out there. And there you have it, a glimpse into the dark side of each state. It's heavy stuff, right? These stories inform, not glorify these individuals or their actions. We honor the victims by remembering them and fighting for justice. For every horrific act, there are countless stories of strength and hope. Let's focus on the good in humanity and make the world safer. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, share and subscribe for more. Stay